Alright guys, back here again with the next Shadowrun video. So off screen I did a little bit of grinding, not actually too much. I'd say about 8 corporation runs. Oh geez. Streets are violent today. So my goal today is I'm going to talk a little bit about corp runs and at what point Renraku runs become viable, and how to do them. I did show you one last video, but I want to kind of focus on how exactly you can make them work, and then there is a there's a negative side effect to Renraku runs. And then after we talk about that, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our cyberdeck and get going on matrix runs for the first time. Okay, now this place is violent today. So first off, I like to sell all my loot over here at the crime store. If you wanted to maximize your profit, you would trade all your items to your person with the best negotiation, have them sell it. I also like to maximize time. See, I did switch Rihanna over to a Predator. Actually found... Okay, that's new. One of my cats just like crashed into a bowl upstairs and made a bunch of noise. Switched Rihanna to a heavy pistol. Found it on the dead body of a security guard I had to kill. So I got rid of her SMG. Alright, let's see if we can get... Ares is actually really easy. So we're gonna go for a Renraku run. Lone Star's pretty easy. Just keep going until I get... There we go. So I got a Renraku run. So quick look at our money. I have a ton of money. Almost enough to buy the Sega cyberdeck. But we also have to buy programs and upgrades. So we will buy the Fuji Cyber 5. And we'll use that as a stepping stone. I mentioned before, if you're patient enough to go for the Sega, it's a pretty good system. But I think the Cyber 5 will do until we get the final upgrade. Let's see here. So attributes and skills. I have Joshua up to firearms 6, reputation 6, and negotiation 8. And walking bears up to sorcery 11. And Rihanna is firearms 6, computer 9, electronics 8. So that's pretty good upgrades. Remember, the Renraku runs are 5 karma each. So it's pretty nice. Now, one of the things is, and I could be wrong about this, so people could feel free to correct me. The random encounter where somebody takes your picture and then disappears, I believe is permanently been replaced with a Renraku strike team. So if I'm walking along, I get that random encounter, a Renraku strike team appears. At this point, I don't have the right gear to fight those guys. So I run. I could fight maybe 1 or 2 of them, but there's about 4 or 5 that spawn during those encounters. So, if I see a Renraku strike team, I run. And they actually can kill me and have killed me off screen here. One thing is, if I am walking around the town, especially near Renraku, or I think even downtown Seattle, it happens a lot, I'll just cast a visibility on my lead character and it will avoid those random encounters. Anyway, all you really need to do for a Renraku run is have somebody with electronics 6. Supposedly the electronics toolkit helps So get one of those. And then you need the invisibility spell, I'd say level 2. You can get all that for 3,000 new yen. If you hire Rihanna, she starts Electronics 5, which is a decent start. Just upgrade her as soon as you can. And that's really it. That's all you need for a Renraku run. So here's the strategy. I go over in this corner, cast the visibility on Rihanna, check the safe. Okay, well that was like way too easy, so I think we're gonna do another one. So it can be that easy though. And that was over 4,000 new yen profit right away. Well, let's do one more just so you guys can see a longer version of that run. All right. Another fight. All right. So we'll get our money. So that was over 4,000 new yen and 5 karma. I am not ready for Matrix runs that hot yet. Nope. We'll talk about some of the other missions later, but not now. Nope, don't want to do Ares. Nope. Simple Matrix run that's tempting. But I do want to show you a Renraku run that doesn't go that smoothly. Nope. 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 50 million is the base reward. I'm gonna switch Walking Bear back over to invisibility. Save the game. And I'm actually gonna walk through the Renraku area with invisibility on, so we don't get that random encounter where we get attacked. So that is one drawback. I think the Renraku strike team start attacking you after you've done a run against them, because that's about when I started getting attacked by them, and I haven't done any of the story missions yet. So keep that in mind if you go and do the Renraku runs, that your life becomes more difficult permanently. Okay, so right there, I am pushing against the wall. So I'm pressing down there. It actually moves the POV camera down. And for whatever reason, it keeps the camera from seeing me. In my head, I just say, oh, I'm hugging the wall. And then over here, same thing, I'm gonna hug the wall, and the camera won't see me. And then I just walk right in here. And this is where the electronic skill comes in handy. And it says it's on the second floor. So then I just start up a kind of systematic search of the area. Most of the things you find, you want to keep your mage close for when your invisibility wears off. Most of the things you find on the wall safes are worth around 100 to 150 new yen. So they are worth looting and selling. If you keep searching safes and it says you find nothing, it's because it won't generate an item if your inventory is full. So if you keep getting that message, you find nothing, check your inventory. If it's full, that's why. And it would be the same thing with like, oh, my invisibility wore off again. Same thing with like clips. You should be finding lots of clips in wall saves. If you're not, you probably have so many clips that you can't carry anymore. In fact, I should take a look. 9 clips. 9 clips should be enough to... I thought you could carry up to like 20 or something, but I don't know. Yeah, some safes just have money. It's 150 new yen, 200 new yen. Okay. And my invisibility keeps wearing off, which is annoying. But that's why you have a character with high sorcery, and then try to upgrade your invisibility spell a bit. You can technically do this run with invisibility level 1, but you'll be spamming the invisibility spell almost constantly, and that's pretty annoying. And if invisibility wears off just as a security guard walks by, you're kind of screwed. Okay, I got the package. Back to the first floor. And then I don't want my invisibility to wear off just as I go through that door, so I'm going to switch characters. Yeah, see? Rihanna's visible again. Just remember not to cast invisibility right next to the guards, because for whatever reason they hear it and they react to it. So that's it. Renraku runs aren't that hard. You just need electronics, like I said, electronics 6 and invisibility spell, and that's it. Okay, moderate matrix run. I'll go ahead and try it. I don't know if my deck will be good enough for a moderate run, but we'll just save the game and we'll cancel the mission if it doesn't go well. Alright. And actually I'll switch to my visible character so I don't have any random encounters. Go sell off my extra stuff. A trauma patch, frag grenades. Yeah, these are all 150 new yen each. So I practically could get the Sega, but like I said, I need to buy programs and upgrades. So, oop, getting attacked again. All right, I'm gonna save the game. And then I did do a little bit of math while I was doing the Renraku runs. So I was recording how much time it took me and then what my rewards were. And basically, so the average profit I got off of Renraku, considering any items sold or wall safes looted, my average profit was 4,845 new yen. And the average is messed up a little bit because the extraction runs usually pay less for some reason. If you only took package runs, it should be a bit higher. The average time it took me to complete the mission from entering the building to exiting the building was 3 minutes, 22 seconds. And I did about 6 or 7 trial runs. That was the average I got. I didn't fail a single run. And then a bit later, after I was done writing down the numbers, I did fail 1 run, and that's because my invisibility wore off. I got a random encounter where a Renraku strike team attacked me inside the building, and they have way too good armor and way too good guns, so they did kill me off, and I did have to reload my game. So this is not a 100% safe, method of farming, but keep the invisibility up and it's a lot safer. So anyway, it comes out to an average of 1,444 new yen per minute and 1.5 karma per minute. which in my opinion is at least as good as the courier runs back in Redmond Barrens. Karma-wise, way better money-wise, and a lot less tedious as long as you are succeeding more often than you're failing. So, definitely recommend it. You notice I still don't have a corporate badge or fake ID or whatever. I didn't buy that. No Megalock passkeys, didn't buy any of those. So you just need somebody with good electronics and an invisibility spell, and then it's a pretty decent way to karma farm and money farm. So I can at least get my my cyber deck that I want. So we're gonna take the taxi over to Renraku. Oops. Meant to put on walking bear? Okay. And again, I'm pretty serious about keeping invisibility up until I do my armor upgrades. Because otherwise you end up running from... Like I've had to, if the Renraku strike team appears, I have to run off screen, try to find a taxi, whatever it takes, just get away from those guys. Don't try to fight them just yet. And I need to switch to Joshua because he has the best negotiation. Still tempting to go for the Sega. Okay, I'm breaking my own rules. I'm going to do the Sega. Okay. Now, the important things that we need. Let's see here. My attack program. I do want to get up eventually. Let's see here. We do want a level 1 slow program. I'll explain that later. And then for now, I think a level 2 sleeves. Oops, I didn't actually buy that. There we go. Yeah, I want level 2 analyze, level 2 sleeves for now. I do want deck response eventually. It's really important, but not quite ready for it. And then masking is going to be super important. But we'll come back to this in a moment. Go ahead and be the invisible person to avoid battles. Deception is not available at the Renraku cyberdeck store, so we need to go to the crime mall. Deception is the #1 most important program. Okay. Now, all of these, trash. Don't get them. Okay, deception is #1 program, so I want to get to at least level 4. Okay, good. And we'll keep working on that one. Now, these upgrades, masking helps deception do better. So we want that one as high as we can get it. So level 5, I'm going all the way. Okay. Everything else we'll upgrade later, but we want masking up to level 6 as soon as possible. Alright. And yeah, that did eat up all our money. So I don't know if that was the best choice, but we'll see. So if you hit enter passcode, you will go to the one for your current Shadowrun. Okay, and then we want... Our 2 main ones are going to be attack, deception, sleaze. We'll want slow loaded up, and most people say analyze is pretty worthless. I mostly agree, so we'll have it loaded up, but I doubt we'll use it. Alright, so these rectangular nodes are the SANs, system access nodes. and they let you into the system. Now, typical strategy is to just go ahead and run deception. And if you've got good deception and good masking, you're in, no problem. And then each node has a color and a number. It's hard to explain, and I don't remember everything perfectly, and don't know how they modified everything for the Genesis game as opposed to the tabletop game. But basically, the number, higher the number, the harder it is for me to do anything in the node. And then the colors, it's like blue, green, yellow, red, and that has to do with how strong the ice are in that node. Alright, so from the node, the only place I can go is the SBU, which stands for Sub-Processing Unit. Okay, you can see this ice is spinning a little bit faster. I'm gonna run Deception. Still let me in, so whatever it was, I still defeated it. Office Management Subprocessor, so orange 4. Now, these hexagon ones are SBUs, and they sort of link the system together. The triangle ones are IOPs. In the lore of the universe, that would be where people who are physically in the building of that corporation, that's where they log in from. These circular ones are slave modules, so usually it's some electronics equipment that's hooked up to the system, like security cameras or elevators. And then this hexagon with the thing in the middle is the CPU, which is the central processing unit for the whole system. This should be the hardest node to get into. If I get in easily, then, well, this is a pretty easy system. More likely, yep, they put a barrier ice on it, and then I'm gonna have to fight it. And we're gonna be reloading, actually, because that tar pit just ate my program. Yeah, meaning that my deck is basically screwed. But we learned something. So unfortunately, save scumming is part of the game. Alright, also means this is going to be tedious when you get to the CPU. So these clear spinning things are ice, but we don't know what they are because I haven't analyzed them. And once we're through, we don't care what they are. So this one, I'll do this and then I'll explain. So I'm going to run my slow program. Okay, that's called a tar pit, and it permanently deletes the program you used on it. And that's the only reason I carry around a slow program. Now, this one is a barrier ice. And get ready for a long, tedious slog here, because my attack stats aren't very good yet. Barrier ice does just that. It just gets in the way and doesn't let you through. And there's actually something kind of... The way they did it for the Sega Genesis game was kind of goofy. Barrier ice should be defeatable by deception. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my deck is good enough to fight this thing. Yeah, I haven't even hit this thing yet. And just like everything else in the game, it's got, you know, up to 10 hits of damage. So we're gonna reload. I'll try one more thing and see if this one works. So unfortunately, there's a lot of reloading in the early Matrix runs because you're just not there yet. Let's see. Okay, so I need a finance file of security expenditures. It's quite possible. Okay, there's a couple of things. And one thing is, I really probably shouldn't have taken a moderate matrix run just yet. I probably should have taken a simple run. Okay. So one thing is, I was trying to break into the CPU, which is the most protected. Okay. So you notice I got rejected one time. As long as the ice doesn't attack me, I can try deception again. CPU is the most well protected, so that's why I was having such a hard time with it. It's quite possible I don't need to go through the CPU. Because it might be one of these two. Yeah. Another barrier one. Yeah, my attack is not good yet. So this barrier ice is sending out pulses. If I hit it, I'm preventing those pulses from getting off screen. If enough of those pulses get off screen, then the alarm gets set or activated. And you don't really want the alert because it makes everything in the matrix harder. Come on. Alright, now we just brute forced our way in and there's no alert. Okay. Now, this is not the right place. But I have a choice to make. Oh, actually not really. I'm doing it. One of the things you can do is just start downloading a bunch of random data. And the system will eventually notice me. Right now it's on yellow alert or passive alert. Eventually it'll go red alert, and then eventually it'll kick me from the system completely. But I'm just going to jack out, which you can do at any time basically, unless you're in combat with something pretty nasty. And it's time to head over to downtown Seattle. And I'm going to go invisible because I'm still kind of a coward. Okay. This guy right here. You come in, you say, I've got some data to sell. I should have read that. But he goes through the files that you downloaded, gives you money for it. So 1,200. A lot of them will be useless, 2,400, useless. But I already made a profit of 4,000 new yen, just about. So, and I didn't actually finish the run yet. Stay invisible for now. Alright, so we're going to look at the software. I need my attack up to level 4. So I think we'll end up doing that. The other thing that supposedly helps with attack, which doesn't quite make sense to me, is not bod, but evasion actually helps. Which I can't afford anyway, so let's go ahead and do attack. And we should start noticing some differences even just from upgrading a program once or twice. Alright, and then we'll actually enter the same system. Alright. And then, since I've defeated this node before, I already know all its information. The ice here is Blaster 2. Blaster can be deceived. Oh, and you can see these bars here are how likely things are to succeed. So Blaster can be deceived by a deception. So we'll just do that. If it fails, Blaster will attack you. And I think Blaster can actually destroy your chips on your computer? I don't remember. Alright, so Access Ice is a type of white ice that is basically just asking for a passcode. So if you run the passcode and it accepts it, that's it, it's done. Trace and Dump would activate only if there's an alert, or if the access, oh, interesting. So Trace and Dump can activate if the access kind of, you know, susses us out and realizes that we're an intruder. Trace and Dump will, basically, there's a timer, and then when the timer's up, you get kicked out of the system. In the tabletop game, the people would then know where you were physically, so they could send people to go fight you. Killer Ice is a gray ice, but apparently I can deceive it. Alright, we're gonna try this other one here. Okay. Outdated files, this is not what we wanted. Any files we get here are not going to be worth very much money, but I'm going to do it anyway just because we do need money. Oops. So, oops. Now we're red alert. So you'll see a little dump, couple more turns and they're going to dump me. Yep. System overload logging all users, so you can't just sit there and farm the data forever. Eventually you'll get noticed and kicked out. Not sure what factors affect that. Some people say the computer skill, maybe intelligence, I'm not sure about that. I'd love to know more about the code in this game. Okay. Oh, we got a bit of money. That wasn't that bad. And then we'll actually stay here since we didn't need to buy anything. And alright, and then you notice this time my programs all stayed loaded. That's because last time I had an upgrade, and every time you upgrade your programs, they make you reload all your programs. One of the things you gotta watch out for is that your programs, as you upgrade them, the size gets bigger, and you can't have as many of them active because of memory problems. So you don't just want to blindly upgrade your programs. You want to actually, like, I actually got out a piece of paper and plotted out what I wanted to do. Okay, so this one we know access won't be deceived, and there's a tar pit if we mess up. So I'm going to sleaze. Okay. Sleaze is a little weird. It lets you through the node, but doesn't allow you to control the node. So I can't do any of the normal CPU functions, but I can travel through to this data store on the other side. Figures. Alright, does it seem like there's a tar pit? By the way, there are, there's at least one bug in the Matrix. There's one called the double retreat, which will kind of allow you to get into nodes you haven't actually defeated yet. And you know me, I don't really do exploits, especially not in videos. I don't know anybody who would want to, like, open up a YouTube video and watch somebody cheating at a game. That's not even that hard. Alright, and then while I'm kind of bored here, I guess, so I've been hitting the A button to attack, which represents a more offensive stance. There's also the B button, which is supposed to be more neutral. And then the C button, which is supposed to be more defensive. As far as I know, you just want to hit the A button all the time. But again, I'm not an expert on the code of this game. So, I got things I need to learn, I guess, too. Okay. No alert got sounded. And then there goes. Okay. That's the file I need to finish my Shadowrun. So now I can just go ahead and farm the data store for money. The bigger the file, the bigger the multiplier. But sometimes the multiplier is 0, so that's why you end up with what says this file is useless and you get nothing. But let's say it's pretty well like two numbers getting multiplied together here, and so okay, let's go ahead and jack out. Alright, and then and notice if I walk in here and try to sell stuff to this guy, okay, it's encrypted with some Johnson's personal code. I ain't even gonna touch this one. So you can't sell him the file you need for your Shadowrun, which is great. You don't want that. So this is probably not a big file because it's only 600 new yen. And then, yeah, so none of my big files actually had a positive multiplier. So yeah, right now I was making more money on the Renraku runs. That's not going to be the case for very long. Once you get a good cyberdeck, that's no longer the case at all. Looking for work. Moderate run. I'll try it. Just remember, I'm not really supposed to be doing moderate runs just yet. Okay. And then I do have 8,000 new yen. So the question is, do I finish maxing out my masking, or do I start raising evasion, which is supposedly going to help with attack? I think I'm going to raise evasion because there's just nodes that doesn't matter what you do, you get attacked. Alright. I think otherwise we're in good shape. Got attack 4, and deception 4. The other thing I should have considered, but didn't tell right now, is deck response speed. It allows you to act more frequently. Give him first aid. Okay. Cool. We're gonna save the game in case we run into any tar pits. And off we go. Now, one strategy is if you find a run that has a data store that's just kind of openly exposed, rather than actually finish the run, you could just farm the same data store over and over and over and over. It does get a little bit tedious, but it is the fastest way to make money. Like this one. 2 not that hard nodes, and I have a data store that's orange. It's not a bad idea. And I might even do that just to get my deck upgraded to where I want it to be. Alright, good enough. So the color and the number of the node you steal random data from does have an effect on how much money the files are worth. I'm not sure exactly what the exchange rate is, but if you're able to find like a red 6 data store, for example, the files you get in there are worth quite a bit of money. Okay, yeah, look at that money. That's definitely worth an upgrade. Up to 13,000. Alright. Let's see. In this case, I'm going to put masking up higher. You know, this walking bear switched to an attack spell. That let me know that bad guys were coming. Alright. Yeah, so if I do masking, and then I still have enough money left over for a deck response, then you'll see that upgrade will immediately pay itself off. Oop. I don't know, give him first aid. Oh no, he's a vampire. Oh. Actually got a good hit in on Rihanna. I don't want my decker tired. Guess we'll just head over to Redmond and take a nap. Well, we got some good karma to use too, I think. Let's see here. So yeah, Joshua, we can get his negotiation up. That'll help with the prices at the crime mall. Walking Bear's maxed out her sorcery. That's pretty cool. Rihanna, we can give her computer 10. Okay, and then the cash flow from the Matrix runs is also going to allow us to finally get all the gear upgrades that we want to. Actually, I don't need to go anywhere. We could just do the run from here. Yeah, so if I remember right, City Hall's a really good one for just farming, because one easy node here. And then we're, oh yeah, and this SP only has access. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty easy one to farm. There are better systems when you have a better deck. There's one where the CPU isn't that hard to get into. There's a red data store right next to the CPU. You can cancel the alerts from the CPU, so you can go make sure to farm 5 really good quality data files, canceling the alerts until you get what you want, and leave, and you can literally get tens of thousands of new yen. Got some data to sell. Not too much that time. Alright. I think you guys can kind of see the trajectory. Oop. Talk the Lone Star, talk to them. Okay. Just curious about that. technically, the only thing illegal we have is the electronic kit. But they apparently didn't notice or didn't care about it. Well, I think you guys know where I'm going to be farming my new yen. I think the other thing that might be interesting to do is do a tour of downtown Seattle while we're here. So this is Roscoe the Fixer. I keep not actually reading his text, which is unusual for me. Howdy, name's Roscoe. My business is buying info and selling it off to the highest bidder. You got any data for me, partner? I'll gladly give you a fair deal. Talk to you later, Trevor. Adios, partner. Why don't you go out and dredge up some data files for me to build up my inventory, huh? Alright, I think this is an abandoned warehouse. Yep. One of these days I should figure out which ones are the demon warehouses. Alright, is this a warehouse? Yeah, another abandoned building. And then over here is Seattle General Hospital. You enter Seattle General Hospital. A woman with the name Dr. Haversheen stitched on her smock is filling out forms behind the desk. You recognize her as a doctor from Michael's Holopix. May I help you? Since we're here, it doesn't really activate too much. Is this your Holopix? You show her the Holopix and tell her Michael's death. Tears stream freely, but she manages to stifle most of the sobs. Composing herself with much effort, she begins to speak. Michael is a good friend to me. We met when he first arrived here 3 years ago. I can't believe he's gone. If there's anything I can do for you, Joshua, let me know. What was Michael's relation with Stark? Stark was your brother's best friend. They went everywhere together. I can't count the times one of them came in here dragging the other barely alive. I guess they died together. Alright, and then after that, it turns into just a plain old hospital. Although we will need her again for stuff later. By the way, if you do die and don't just reload your game, you have a dock wagon contract. So if you die, you end up at the hospital minus, I guess, 10% of your money. The bigger issue is that you lose your companions, so you don't really want that. Icarus Descending is a high-class restaurant in the elven part of downtown. You have heard many times how culturally biased the management is toward humans, something only a prestigious establishment can get away with. A burly elven bouncer stands guard at the door. I'm looking for some information. Go away. The bouncer looks rather pleased now that you are leaving. Let's try to actually get in. I'd like to go in. The elven bouncer sizes you up. So this is the Joshua that's tripping tongues. You should know we don't like to serve your type, but you seem to know how to take care of yourself. He steps aside and lets you enter. And then over here is Caleb Brightmore. I'm going to avoid him for now because he does start kicking off more storyline stuff too. But we will be upgrading to him. He does, he's going to be the end game, Mr. Johnson. Let's see here. Matchstick, we've been here before. I'd like to go in. Hey Joshua, you've been on a lot of people's lips lately. I'd be careful if I were you, because some of those people are inside. Step this way. So this is where we hired Rihanna over here. And then over here is a Mr. Johnson. The weird thing about this Mr. Johnson is that he's a mid-level Johnson, but until your reputation's 6, it costs you 150 yen just to get in the club every time, so he's not a very good choice because you have to spend money to even talk to him. You enter the booth. It is extremely dark. The diminutive figure seated there exudes confidence and charisma. His voice is a rich baritone. Let's get one thing straight. Business is business. The name's Julius Struther, and I like to keep things on the up and up. So tell me, how can we help each other today? I'm looking for some information. I'd be happy to tell you what I know for a modest price. 1,000 yen grants you a contact. Questions are free for the moment. I need some questions answered. Sorry, I don't know anything that would help you right now. Spell it out for me, there's no communication problems. Yeah, so later, you'll be investigating, like, other Shadowrunners and what happened to them, so you'll be talking to the Mr. Johnsons. Contacts. I can connect you to an ex-mercenary who knows a lot about breaking into the Hollywood Correctional Facility. This guy's a real pro, so I wouldn't upset him if I were you. Treat him right and he might be able to play with some useful equipment, if you catch my drift. You want his name? Not yet. Once we are rolling in the new yen, we'll go around and buy all the contacts. The shadowy image of a watcher, a phantasmal magical messenger, materializes in front of you. Come quickly, my master needs help. Take me to him, I'll help. The watcher leads you through some side streets. He points ahead and you see an old man being brutally beaten by a group of I-5ers. That's the Go Gang. The mage looks up, the I-5ers turn around following his gaze. Look, some new meat to tenderize, get 'em boys. As the gangers come at you, you catch the mage giving you a wave of thanks. He then shimmers and fades to nothingness. These guys are kind of tough, so hopefully I don't die. Okay, we survived. We definitely need to do our upgrade. Need to upgrade our armor. Mitsuhama. You enter the Seattle corporate office of Mitsuhama Computer Technologies. The entryway is quite stunning, with hollows displaying many robotic devices Mitsuhama has recently developed. Entering the lobby, you are accosted by corporate security. Upon discovering you have no business there, you are escorted out. There's actually 2 Mitsuhama buildings, and that's always confused me. Alright, and then this one's not marked, but this is actually the Space Needle. You enter Seattle's famous landmark. The Space Needle is a popular tourist attraction, but if you've seen one steel and glass structure, you've seen them all. After riding the elevator, you enter the bar at the top of the tower. So, stinky guy signaling that there's nobody in the booth. And then a bright-eyed young man is creating magical fire when you enter. Hello, please join me. I'm looking for some information. I might know something of use. What's your story, chummer? My name's Trent. I've been studying the mystical arts, the powers of magic. I was studying at the university, but I quickly tired of the parlor tricks they taught there. I aspire to learn so much more. I've decided to add to my experiences by working for those who will pay for me to have them. I need some questions answered. I'd like to hear about mages. Mages use arcane magic. Shaman require a totem and are forced to adhere to the laws of nature. Mages have no such limitations. We use our intellect to call upon the astral plane and bend it to our will. When I get some more experience, you'll see some serious casting coming from my fingers, man. I need some questions answered. I'm looking for some contacts. I've got the number of an old professor of mine. Jefferson is his name. Most folks only sell names to you, but the prof's always willing to talk with new people without the influence of money. He places the name in your pocket secretary. This is the one contact in the game that is free, and if you want to avoid that no contacts glitch that I activated last video, come talk to this guy and get this phone number right away. Do you know of any Johnsons in the area? Yeah, I know of a local Johnson, goes by the name of Vigor. I occasionally see him over in the Rat's Nest, but he does his work as a wanderer in Pallet Barrens. Okay, and that's actually a pretty big hint for the end of the game, where we actually start investigating Vigor. Vigor is the Johnson that I'm working for currently, but we're going to investigate him later. Alright, and then he is a runner. He is a human mage. His stats aren't that good. And then he has the same sprite as that elf decker. The one I don't really like because it just looks like they're gliding. I like his portrait, but I don't like his sprite, really. Alright, what's over here? There's a hotel. The Gates Underground Hotel is a posh setup. It's known far and wide for its 5-star service. Many rooms and apartments are built underground, so each room literally faces the ocean. Greetings and welcome to the spectacular Gates Underground Hotel, the finest Seattle has to offer. How may we serve you? Let's see here, 75 new yen. So kind of expensive, at least you don't get attacked when you try to stay there. And then this is Fuji. This is the downtown branch office of Fuji Industrial Electronics. The guards just behind the desk. What can you tell me about the Fuji Corporation? The guard gives you a bored look and throws a company pamphlet at you. You read it quickly and learn Fuji is a leader in cyber technology. Fuji has marketed 3 versions of cyberdecks and just completed a prototype of a new cybernetic heart, which will be important later. The pamphlet ends with Fuji claiming they are on the verge of the next big advancement in technology. Cyber technology. The guard yawns as you leave. I don't actually remember anything relevant in that particular building. Okay, so that's it. Downtown's not that big. We'll do Penumbra next time, so I don't just do it all in one day. But let's see, I'm looking at my notes. And I think I covered everything I want to. We talked about Renraku runs. And then some basic Matrix runs. I am going to farm the heck out of that City Hall system and upgrade my deck. I am aiming at 6 in all of my stats, and then I'm going to get my programs to a certain level, and then after that I'm going to collect money to start gathering up the equipment that I want. Armor being one of the big ones. Alright, talk to them. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they recognize my electronics kit as illegal, so that's great, actually. Alright, and that's going to be it for now. I'll catch you guys next time after I've farmed the heck out of some data stores for money.